only been there a couple times. Nathan took me, and I forget when it was, but it was during the corn and the cob. I remember.
Oh yeah, the corn roast.
Yes, the corn roast. What a
Yeah.
great place.
I did the lighting for those actually the last 2 years. So
I
was probably there.
I'm trying to think when we went. Nathan, when did we go to the corn roast together at the house church?
That would have been...
2 or 3 years ago. Probably 3, right?
I filmed it on 2019, and we went the previous year. You don't need to have headphones if you want, by the way, but I just like to keep them on because then it tells me if I'm like quiet or like away from the mic.
Do I look cooler with them on or without?
Well, you look like you're about to drop a hit record, so there's that.
Okay.
You
What about
can-
my pony? Is it still looking okay over there?
How are we looking?
Can you see?
Doesn't look as good.
Okay, should I take them off?
Let's do one without.
Check it for
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh yeah, you can see the pony. I do look badass. with it
Okay,
on.
I'm gonna throw
Pretty-
mine on too then. I'm gonna match whatever you do. If you take yours off, I'll take mine off.
It's a pony, all right. It's a. Wow, I'm backwards. Yeah, they're cool. Let's keep them on.
What were we
Thanks.
talking about right before this?
House corn roast.
Corn roast. That was 2018, I think. I'm pretty sure that was 2018.
Yeah. That was fun.
All I know is that as soon as we got there, you recognized somebody. You're like, "Oh, hey, you!" And then I saw you like an hour later.
Yeah, and there was big, giant, blow-up dinosaurs there. I remember. Right? And weren't you one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, there were 4 of us that had dinosaur suits, and we didn't know what to do with them. Then we had like this idea like earlier that day, like, let's bring our dinosaur suits. So we did. And then we were waiting like, what's a good time to put these things on? So there was like the outside bit, and then like there was a band that started playing, and everyone was kind of like standing around awkwardly because like it's a church. There's
I
no
remember
there's no
this.
alcohol anywhere to like to loosen people up and help
Yeah.
them feel okay. Just go out there and do stuff. You're kind of going to do that or not, depending on your personality. So everyone's kind of standing there awkwardly, like, oh, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then these 4 dinos enter and start behaving like a bunch of idiots. And no one could take themselves or anyone else seriously after that. So it kind of loosened everybody up. Then we pieced out and came back without the suits on and didn't tell anyone who we were for like a while.
That's so funny.
It was fun.
Yeah, that was a fun night. That was really fun. Now, what occasion was that again for the church? What was it? Just the corn roast? Is that what it was?
Yeah, so what they do, that actually used to be just like a satellite campus. What? Oh, yeah. You want to hit record?
Should I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sorry, because I remembered you went up there.
I'm actually recording up there.
Already recording?
But if we record here, then I can like move cuts around if I need to for like little snippet edits.
Zoe.
I'm like telling everybody everything that I do. Whatever.
What else?
What ifs? Oh yeah. So that event is because that place was originally just like a satellite campus for like a different church in town. And that was like close by to university because it was all centered about like to university students. And so the big deal is in September you come back to school. So it was like a big social
Right.
thing
That's what
to
it
like
was.
just get people
A
together. Like, hey,
get-together.
like come say hi to people. You're brand new here, or it's like second year, and maybe you want to meet like some freshmen or whatever. And just like, hey, like who's around and who's got like a like-minded interest as well, and like coming to a church and it's nearby and all that kind of stuff. So that's why they do it in September.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Now,
Last year
now I
was
remember that.
weird.
Was
really-
it?
Yeah.
I guess
really weird.
COVID would have been last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
was.
that would have been weird.
It was awkward. If I'm honest, it was really awkward.
Oh gosh, I bet.
There's
What would
like-
have you have like what?
It was like less than 30 people there,
Yeah.
and that like includes like the bare minimum volunteers to make it happen. So there's like 15 or 20 people that didn't know each other, kind of going, "Hi."
Yeah.
It was weird. It was really weird.
Oh, that's too bad. It's so sad. Well,
How do you meet people now?
I know. I don't know. Actually, let me tell you guys about a cool hub that I've been doing, and I should invite
the
you.
way,
I should
cheers.
invite both of you. Both of you. Cheers. Woohoo.
To what is this from Hester's Creek? Hester's Creek. Thank you,
Yes.
Hester's.
And it's really good. Yeah. Fruity. Very fruity. But have you guys heard of Clubhouse?
I actually just deleted it because I never opened it.
Oh my gosh, Nathan, biggest mistake of your life. So So can you deleted it. I hope when you get it back, you still have your.
Probably.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So amazing. Like you can go on there because it was started. Now, where I heard of it from, my PR lady, she is a big Tony Robbins fan. She goes to, I think she's part of the Tony Robbins team.
His expensive
Yes,
tickets.
totally. Like
$8,000, $10,000
Oh,
tickets.
I know. He's a big deal. He's a huge deal. And anyway, she's a huge advocate for him. And Clubhouse, kind of like I don't know like how to say like those people who are serious. Like I want to say like elites. Like they kind of all started Clubhouse, and it's right now it's invite only. So it's just you go on there and it's just all these people who are just so talented and it's insane. And there's different things. There's food, there's travel, there's music, there's honestly any sort of field. And you can go on there and you can meet so many cool, talented, awesome people. And there's a different rooms, and when you go on, and I'm still learning about it, but there's when you go on, you're in like the hallway, and it has all these different rooms. And when you set up your account, you can choose what you're interested in, and so it kind of like lines up all these different rooms, and it's a chat room. People just go on there and they sit there and they talk. You can share whatever. You can share your music. You can do whatever, but you meet so many cool, interesting, talented people around the world. And they're all people who are serious about like what they're doing, and it's really cool. Like you can like get so many opportunities from this like I've talked to so many like insanely talented people and talked to like so many cool interesting people, and it's really cool.
How much time do you have to spend on there to actually like get to meet these people?
Well, I don't know. Like, I've honestly only been on a couple times. Like, there's people that go on there all the time, and I can only imagine the people and the experiences and that they get from it. I've only been on a handful of times, and even from the handful of times I've been on there, the people that I've met and the opportunities that I've had are like insane. You just never know who's going to be on there. Like, it's crazy. From all over the world, people who are serious about what they do, like they're, producers, engineers, singers, like publishers, like just big deal people that you want to be talking to.
If it's invite only, okay, so I got invited on by the first guest on this podcast who sat in that chair. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's that chair, but it's one that looks
One of
exactly
those
like that
chairs.
chair, but it's right there. Right there.
Right there.
And he invited me onto it after we finished, and I think he had like 7 invites or something. Like he had like a
something
bunch.
like that.
So the cool thing about that idea to me is that I'm like, if I have 7 invites to Facebook and you can't join Facebook, someone has to invite you on. I would not invite someone who's like someone I would never want to talk to.
Yeah.
I would invite people who I'd want to have on there.
Or people that are serious about what they do and are passionate.
Yeah, like
I'm very like particular. Like I just invited you. It means I think you're worth a lot.
I want to meet you on that room. I want to hear you in
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Because isn't it all audio based?
Yeah.
Like there's no typing. It's all just
All
talking.
audio, and like there's no video or nothing. It's just people talking. And I've been very particular with who I've like invited on because I want it to be people who have like passion and people who, you know what I like I don't know, believe in what they do and love what they do and just, you know what I mean? Like I want those kinds of people to be on there. That's what I hope to find, those kinds of people on there, like you said. So very like.
So that's like a way of curating who's on.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of idiots on Twitter and a lot of idiots on Instagram,
Absolutely,
a lot of
it's
idiots on Facebook.
great.
But
People are
imagine
serious
if
who are
you
on
could
there.
only invite people onto those, you would probably pick the people that you'd want to meet. You wouldn't pick the annoying aunt who is ranting and raving about something that no one gives a shit about.
Which in like, in other people's, like, I don't know it well enough, but like say it like people who are in food, people who like, oh, I like food and travel, like those are going to be different than the people who are in like audio and
I've
music.
thought about starting an account, and like, a lot of accounts now, you have to select a bunch of stuff that you're interested in. Mm-hmm. I wonder what it'd be like if you just lied about all of that to intentionally meet people that you'd never run across otherwise. Because otherwise, you've heard of like an echo chamber, right? Where like an echo chamber in social media is where all of your friends believe the same things that you believe, they'll post stuff that you already think, and there's no new ideas. It's just like an echo. It's the same thing coming back to you. You
Okay.
say what everyone else is saying. They say what you were going to say anyways, and no one grows or learns anything new. It's an
Yeah.
echo chamber.
Okay.
But if you lie about everything you're interested in, you're intentionally putting yourself into brand new communities that you would never be in otherwise. Like,
That's really
I
cool.
hate cooking. I'm not bad at it, but I don't like it. If I went and joined a bunch of cooking groups and subscribed to a bunch of cooking channels on YouTube and actually spent time and intentionally chased them, I'd meet people that I would never meet.
Yeah. That's really cool. I never even like looked at it like that. I like that.
I get a little bit tired of hearing the same things over, like suggested videos, suggested posts, suggested friends, suggested everything.
Totally.
It's all based on what you've already done. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
if you notice this, but on Facebook, quite often you never see more than like 50 or 100 people's posts. You see
Yeah.
the same people all the time.
Because those are the people you're engaged with the most, right?
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
like, if you comment, you're going to see more of their stuff. And you've got friends and family that you're friends with, but you never see anything of them.
That's crazy. I never thought of it. I never really put that into thought.
I suppose I'm sort of convincing myself to go and check out Clubhouse again.
You guys both should. Like, you really should. Like, have you had it?
No, but I was here for that time when he got invited.
Yeah, it's really
Kinda
cool.
randomly.
I mean, what a great opportunity to meet people and just like, yeah, like talk to people around the world who like love the same thing that you love, and especially at a time like right now where it just seems so impossible to do that with everything that's going on. It's just like, I don't know. I wish I was on it more because of how like powerful I do believe it is, but like I only go on like every so often, but every time I have, it's made like a thumbprint in my like life.
How long do you spend on there at a time?
Well, like today I went on there and I was on there for about an hour and a half, and I
Just like doing other stuff?
doing other stuff. You put it on and you'll like, if you want to say something, you say something. And like I would have got off sooner, but I actually started talking to people that I enjoy talking to, and they were really cool, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna sit here and listen in and talk to these people, and like, you know, listening to them talk about their lives, you get interested, and you know, you start to like care a little bit, and like it's just, and it was a room that like I didn't exactly like, it was by accident that I went in there, but there was a gentleman on there that I talked to previously in Clubhouse, and he kind of like called me to speak, and I ended up meeting like a few other people
Sounds
in
like
there.
being sent up to the podium.
I know, it was just
Go give a speech.
totally like it's a weird, like it's weird, but once you get the hang of it and understand it, like it's really cool. Yeah, there's like one time I accidentally put up my hand. Like I went on because like Cindy, my PR lady, she's like, you should go on to this Clubhouse like room that's on right now. Like you should play your song. Everyone's playing their music. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, she's like, yeah, you can go play your song. And I was just kind of like, okay, this is weird. But I was like, I'm going to go check it out. So like I did. And then they were all like playing like these super sick beats. Like they had like hip hop and rap. And I was like, I can't play my song in this. Like this, like totally not this kind of style. I was like, they're not going to like it. And I was kind of like second guessing me playing my song. Like, but Cindy's like, just do it. And then by an accident, somehow I raised my hand to talk in the chat room, and they're like, Teigen, like, plays your song. And I was like, fuck. I was like, literally like,
That's awesome.
I was like, oh
Did
my
you have your
gosh.
guitar nearby? You're like,
Well, no,
hang on a second, let me
just,
tune.
Like I played, like you just play them, like your song, like you're actually recording
Just
a
like hit
song.
play
They
on
wanted
it.
to hear your best song.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
it was. That's what it was. They wanted to hear your best song, is what they said. And I was like, oh, so like
How
I
do you
was
play
like,
it on there?
well, you like put your phone up to the. That's all I did. Put my phone up to the computer, played my song, you know, and they were great too. Like I was really grateful for them because they were like, it's too close, put it far away, like take it like farther away because it's too muddled and stuff, too close, or turn it down or whatever. Like they wanted to hear. They were genuinely like interested in what it sounded like, and they were just so nice. I played them I Don't Want to Fall in Love Anymore, and then they were like, man, like, we wish, like, that was really good. Like, we could hear that on the radio. They're like, I wish, like, Alan was on this chat room. And I was like, I don't know who Alan is, right? Like, and they're like, yeah, Alan, like, oh my gosh, Alan's in the chat. Like, let's get him in. Let's bring Alan in. Because you can, like, call people into the chat room. And then Alan came in, and that's the gentleman that I was like how I got onto the room today. But like, yeah, he ended up being like a really nice, cool guy that I met on Clubhouse, and yeah, he has like a lot of credibility throughout his life. Like,
Is he like a music guy or what's his deal?
from what, like, he's a music publisher, and he's like
Okay.
like huge. I don't even want to name drop right now. Like, he's like Morgan Wallen, I think, like Ariana Grande, like all like these crazy names that I saw on there when I was like looking it up. And he told me that that he thought my song was a hit song, and just made me feel so good and happy. And I was like, oh my God, like it was literally like, I don't know, it felt like a gift from God that day, that was kind of like that happened, because that just doesn't, like, you don't just go into chat room. Like, it was just a weird thing, you know, how it happened. Like, I was so scared to go on there, but I did it. I didn't know what was going on, but I did it. Like, I was nervous to play my song, but I did it. Then I met all these cool people. You know what I mean? And I made all these connections and out of something that was just like really weird and random that night, where it was, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, I'm like, wow, this is the power of Clubhouse. Because when I was like, someone told me about Clubhouse, Cindy, when she told me about it, I was like, like, you know, you get all these new things, like there's TikTok this, and it takes you a while to get onto it until something
You've
really.
been having fun with TikTok though.
Yeah, I know. I know I have been having fun. But when I started TikTok, I was like, another one. You know, you don't want to. You don't want to have to build it. And then you get onto it and it's fun, and you just keep building, and like it's the same with Clubhouse. Like, so many opportunities, so many cool people, so many, it's just great. Highly recommend it for both of you. Just
Okay,
saying.
all right. Maybe I'll give it another chance. Although
Yeah.
I never really gave it a first chance, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
and-
I installed them, like, yeah, I'll try this, I'll check it out. But I don't know. I already had like some things that I was interested in like spending time with, and I thought, yeah, but I want to do these because I know that I like them.
Yeah.
And I have no idea what this thing is. I don't know if I'm gonna like it.
Totally.
So I stuck with the known instead
Yeah.
of checking out the unknown.
And that's how I felt too. And if it wasn't for like Cindy, like on my ass, being like, go into this room, do this, I like wouldn't have gave it a chance. But she was like on my ass to do it, and so it's
And
like,
now you're on it. So now
now I'm gonna
you've
be
been on
on
there
your
like
ass.
4. And I'm just gonna wake up to like a 4 a.m. text. Have you tried it yet? Have you tried it? Have you
I'm
installed
just gonna
it?
invite you into a cool room, but you got to get it back first.
Okay. I will give it a chance. I will give it a listen. I'm gonna text you beforehand and be like, hey, I'm gonna give this thing a try. How the fuck does this thing work? What am I gonna do? Where do I go? You can
Yeah.
invite me
I'll
somewhere.
invite you in a
Like,
room and
send
we
me
can
to a
go
room or
in.
something. We'll go in.
You're gonna
and-
be so obsessed. I know you. It's gonna be your new obsession. I just like know you. You love talking.
I'm
You're
worried
gonna meet
about
so
that.
many.
I might
I'm worried.
really like it. I might really like it. I started this stupid podcast just to keep on talking.
Yeah, I'm like, this is for you. This has your name all over it.
Oh no.
You're gonna be like the one starting rooms. Like, I just go on to rooms. Like 2 weeks from now, you're gonna be like have like this big room going on
Maybe.
that you created.
I
with,
wonder if I
like,
can
thousands
put
of
this
people.
on one of those rooms.
I'm sure you could, like, totally. You could be like, you know, have your phone there, be like, hey, like, you're on my
Oh, my
pod.
phone's connected right now.
Sure.
Like, I can.
Then it
we
can work.
can take a phone call and like we can hear someone.
Wow, then you could literally do that then. Pretty sure.
That'd be kind of fun.
That would be really cool. Can
Just
you
like-
please?
Kind of want to try it right now. Do you want to connect your phone to this? It's got Bluetooth.
No.
You want to get in Clubhouse right now?
No.
And just have like bring a conversation to like a brand new room and just annoy people with it?
It's intimidating on there. I love it, but
See, now I'm scared. I don't know if I
I'm
wanna
sorry.
try
It's
it.
not, it's just
Scaring me. You're exciting me and scaring me. It's
well,
all the
it's
good
just
things.
like I'm just telling you, like, you go on there and it's I mean, it's fun, but it's like you go on there and I don't know, like, it's not funny business on there to me anyways. When I go on there, I go on there to learn and to meet people. And to me, when my time is put on there, it's like I would like to consider it as like not work, but like towards my, you know, my career a little bit. So I'm like, when I go on, it's like serious. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go on here, I'm gonna find a chat room, I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna care, and I'm gonna, like, you know what I
Okay,
mean?
can I try and describe what is probably a really inaccurate idea of what Clubhouse is? But this is like what I'm building up to be in my mind.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to
Okay.
paint the scenario. you know when you're at a bar and there's like, let's say, for example, you go outside to the smoke pit for some reason. You're out there in the smoke pit, there's conversation happening, and you're probably not interested in talking to most of the people there because they're either drunk, uninteresting, not interested in hearing anyone else talk, and they're just talking without listening to anyone else or whatever. But sometimes there's like that one person that's like, oh, you're kind of cool. You're interesting. And you kind of latch onto them and you start having like a conversation and you realize like, oh shit, I'm late for my set. I got to go. Come find me afterwards. And like you keep on chatting afterwards. Imagine an entire bar full of them and none of the annoying people. Is that Clubhouse?
I mean, I guess it depends. Like, I don't know. I think everyone, to me, when I go on there, everyone is very interesting. And I look at everyone as I mean, especially like with like, you know, because like I chose music, right? That's my passion. So like those are the rooms that I go into. Like everyone I see and I've talked to seems very, very professional, very, very serious about what they do. And I love it. And it's cool. Yeah. But it's still, everyone's joking around, everyone's having a fun time, everyone's talking about whatever. And I'm also on a lot of other different ones. Like I chose like so many other ones. I just don't personally go on there. But there's ones about motivation. There's ones about like persistence. Like there's so much different kinds of stuff, different rooms in there. And again, like I haven't been on there enough to like completely understand all of it, but just from like the few experiences I've been on and stuff, like I'm like, wow, like this is a place to go on where you're serious, you know?
So when you say serious, it almost makes it sound like a business thing.
Well, I mean,
It's like it's you only go on there for your career. It's like you can't just go in there and have fun.
well, you can have fun, but like you can have fun, but for me personally, when I go on there, and this is me personally, I'm sure that there's people that go on there that are like, I'm gonna go have fun, you know. But for me, I'm on there and I'm like, I want to meet people. I want to learn something. I want to talk to people who are passionate about like music. I want to, you know what I mean? Like that's for me when I go on there. I'm not going on there when I'm just like, oh my God, hey Clubhouse, like what's going on? I'm just here. You know what I mean? Like that's just like, that's not why I go on there. I go on there because I want to like, I don't know.
That's fair.
You
That's
know what I
fair.
mean? That's just me, but I know that there probably is people but people like they build their own little families on there from what it seems like. I don't know, I'm still learning about it, but it's just really cool. And I think that like anyone who's passionate about something and what they do, if they can go on Clubhouse and like, you know, grow that, they should because it's really cool.
Can you imagine if someone started up a Clubhouse band where like they only ever show music on Clubhouse?
I think
And if you didn't hear it there, you don't get to hear it. Like imagine like some kind of crazy collaboration between like some really well-known artists where like they only play their stuff there and nowhere else.
yeah, well,
That'd be kind of wild.
I was talking to a group of people tonight, and there was like, I know that there was one musician, and there was a couple other musicians, and a producer, and like they were talking. They're like, "Oh, are you going into the room tonight?" And I forget what kind of a room it was, but it was like like what do you call? Sorry, I just burped. You probably heard that. Sorry.
No, that was me. I'm like more beers in than I should be.
But it was kind of like a when you. I forget what kind of a room it was, but you can tell that they were having like a game off, like you know, like they were like a something where they were going back and forth, some sort of a room where you go on and you do something like seemed really cool. I didn't know what they were talking about because I've never been on this room before, but I was like very interested. And I was like, oh, I wonder what this room is that they're going in. You know, like, is this something they do every day? Is this like something that they like, you know, work so hard like for throughout the week that they like, oh, I'm going on Clubhouse and I'm going to do this. You know what I mean? It was really cool to hear. And I should have asked them what it was, but I didn't because I was making pizza.
Well, that's a good excuse. I was busy. I was making some dough.
Some za.
Okay, I am more curious now than when I got invited to it.
Yeah. I'm glad that I did that for you because I wouldn't do that for you if I wasn't like truly interested in like.
If you were like, oh, you got invited to Clubhouse, fuck, it's that guy. Damn it. It's a horrible place, isn't it? No one likes it there. Yeah, a bunch of assholes. What are they doing? My goodness.
Yeah, no, it's a cool platform. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I hope I
I'll
convinced
give it
you.
another go.
Good, I'm glad.
I'll sign up. I'll download it again. I'll see if I need to get invited again. And if I do, I'll come bugging you. And if you've run out of invites, I'll be like, well, guess it wasn't meant to be.
I haven't used. I sent one of my invites. I believe I have 6, and I sent one of them to someone the other day. My first one, and I was really excited. Because
First invite.
My first invite.
It's important.
I know it was
Man,
really
this one
important.
counts. It's the first one.
Yeah, she was. She's actually a local artist, a country artist in the Okanagan, and we just met up for a drink the other day, and yeah, it was like really cool to meet like another like woman in the country music industry in the Okanagan, and I was like, you know what?
There's not a lot, are there?
I'm gonna give you a gift.
Here's my extension of
Yeah.
further connection.
My gift to you.
Please enjoy this.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to like.
I like this, by the way.
It's good, right? It's very
really nice.
juicy.
It's-
Are you
it-
glad that you took it?
So glad.
I'm so glad.
It tastes like juice.
It does.
It is totally juice.
Good
It's like
job.
adult juice. That sounds bad. It is yeah, anyways, it's alcoholic juice.
Yes, I think it's alcoholic. Just kidding.
It is definitely alcoholic. Either that or delayed reaction on the beer.
Yes.
But it's tasty.
Yeah, it's really good. Where did I say it was from? Hester's.
I keep on wanting
Creek.
to say Chester, but it's Hester.
Hester's Creek, right? Was it
Yeah.
Creek?
Creek?
I think it is.
so.
It's in the fridge, but yeah, no, really good. And I might.
Where are they? Because I've never heard of them.
They're in. I want to say Osoyoos.
Oh, okay. So not like here.
Yeah, they're like
Okay.
a couple hours away, and I might be, or was like possibly like might be possibly playing a show there.
Now it's my turn to burp in the
So I was gonna get Giant Head because I went to Summerland a couple weeks ago, and I decided to hit the wineries along the way with my boyfriend, and we by happenstance went to Giant Head, and never been there before, never heard of it, and it was just the cutest winery with the nicest people and such good wine. So I was gonna support them. I had like Giant Head, and then I was like, oh, Hester's Creek. I was like, I might play there. I was like, I'll get this one. And I
Nice.
love the color of it. It was so
Yeah, it is.
Purple.
It's very red.
Pinky,
Like it's
purpley,
kind of
yeah.
pinky in here already.
red. Pink, purple, red.
By the way, I like the pink and blue. Huge thank you to Evan.
Yes,
who,
thank you so much,
lit
Evan.
the room.
It's
It
beautiful.
looks more and more ridiculous and outlandish and amazing and over the top and more than necessary every time. And that is thank you to this fine gentleman whose speciality it is to point bright things at other things that aren't bright and make them look cool.
Yeah.
That's my
You
bad
did
explanation.
it. You made us look bright because of you pointing
Not
bright
much can
things
make me
at
look
us.
bright.
Yeah, right. You're a ray of sunshine.
Give you a sunburn on your brain hole. Anyways, Giant's Head. I've never been to the winery. I didn't know there was a winery, but I have hiked up Giant's Head, which I think is the name of a mountain.
There is. There's a mountain.
There's a mountain,
and
or
you
is it
can
just
see
like a
it
part
from the
of a
winery.
mountain?
That is the Giant Head.
Yeah, it's a nice
Really
place.
cool.
It's a really nice place. That was actually where I had another layer of cluelessness peeled away, which was the smell of sage. Like smell of wild sage you can just pass by on the roadside.
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend Becca pulled off some of the leaves and like kind of like crushed them in her hands. Like, here, smell this. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, oh, that smells really good. She's like, yeah, it's wild sage.
Ah.
And then I realized like from then onwards that there's a lot of this stuff. It's kind of everywhere.
Oh, really?
It's like grass. It's
Oh
like
my
dandelions. It's just everywhere. I'm like, wait, it's all over the place. She's like, yeah, it's really, really common.
Wow.
Like,
You're going to
oh,
have to
okay,
show
cool.
me one of these days because I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it kind of looks like this dusty green, thicker leaf kind of plant,
Hmm.
if I remember correctly. Anyways, it's been a little while. It's been winter here for a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it smells really nice. Like if you kind of like
Oh.
break it and crush it a little bit to kind of release some of the smells, it's cool. It's nice.
Cool. Okay. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look for it.
It's a lot of places around here. Kind of just grows wherever it wants.
Kind of just grows everywhere and anywhere. Cool. I'm going to look out for it.
Where was the last time that we hung out? It was here.
It would have been
It
here
was
when I
like
did my live stream.
2 months ago? No, month ago.
That was like, yeah, maybe a month ago.
It was a month ago you did live stream. That was
Yeah.
fun. That was really
That
fun.
was fun. I know. I was like gonna try. Like I was gonna ask you. I was like, oh, I should figure out where I can like put up my phone so we could get the live stream, because people were asking me, when are you doing your next live stream?
If you want to take your phone out now, I got like a little phone cradle thing. You can just like point it at you and
I just
stream
I
to
didn't
your
know how
fans
people
like,
would
here, we're
feel.
ignoring you.
I know, exactly. I didn't know how people would feel. Like, they probably wanted me to play songs and answer questions, and so I was just like,
I almost asked you if you wanted to like perform something here, but at the same time, I was like, oh, let's just have a hangout first, and like I don't want to like add like pressure, be like, hey, do you want to
Yeah.
come like play your music? Like, no, let's just have fun. But I'd really enjoy if you would perform something if you did this again.
yeah, I would love to. I wish you would have said something. I would have brought my guitar and played you my new single, but
So the one that's coming out in the summertime,
no, like the one that just came
the
out.
one that just
Yeah,
came out.
yeah.
I don't want to fall in love
Yeah.
anymore.
I don't want to fall in love anymore.
Yeah. Okay. I don't usually go and listen to that genre of music. Just like when I'm on my own and I'm doing stuff and I want music in the background, I have a genre of music that I typically go and listen to. Once or twice, I did throw that song on.
Wow, thanks, Nate.
That's not one I usually go for, but like, oh, you know what? This is nice.
Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. That's like the nicest compliment. Like, when people tell you that they don't like country music, or it's not what they typically listen to, but they liked your song, I'm like, "Pfft, that's even better if you didn't like it. Thank you." Like, it's just nice. It means like, wow, like, I don't know, it's just really nice. It's a nice compliment. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I know like coming from me doesn't really mean a lot because like
No.
I'm just like one person.
Are you
But
kidding
like
me?
I don't speak for the masses.
Means a lot. Means a lot. It
Well,
really
I'm
does.
happy. I'm happy that it does.
I still just like anytime I just bit my tongue, that hurt really bad. Wow. Anytime someone tells me that they like my music or they like my song, it makes me so happy. It's like I'm literally like, it's like I'm dying inside. I'm so happy. Like I'm just like it
It
just
hurts.
it
It's so
hurts.
good.
It literally, it means so much, and I'm like, I don't like, for people who get like super huge, like Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, like Morgan Wallen, all those people who are like so big, I wonder, like, I'm just so curious what it feels like to them when they have like millions of people saying that to them, like how that must feel. Because even just like when I get like people telling me that, people posting like that my song's on the radio, like every time I see that, I'm just like so grateful, and it literally makes me so happy to the point where it like hurts, because I'm like, it's still at that point where I'm like, wow, I can't believe that people like me, people like my music, or you know what I mean? It's just like such a cool feeling. So it makes me wonder, like, for those people that have like millions of people like that love them, like how do they like feel about that? How do they cope? Like they must be dead. Not dying inside, but dead. Like I would literally be like like, this is crazy. I just think that's really cool. Must
That's
be
a
so
cool way
exciting.
to think about it.
Yeah. I can't even imagine. Like, that's really cool.
Because you've been writing songs and recording them for quite a while. 'Cause
Yeah.
When I met you, you already had at least 2 songs recorded.
Yeah, when I met you, I had 2 songs like demoed, I think. Like recorded,
Demoed,
but like
that's what it
demoed.
was, yeah.
And then in 2016, I did my first single, Your Girlfriend's Crazy, with John Field, based out of Calgary. And then I did another song with him, and then My Kind of Perfect, which was on my album that I recorded down in Texas with Tyler McCullum.
Is that like bugging you?
Not at all. No, I'm fine.
You can turn it off if you want.
We're good.
Sorry, I just noticed the lighting. I was like,
No,
what's
that's so funny.
right there.
Oh, I love it.
Sorry, you did recordings with John Field in Calgary.
Yeah, John Field in Calgary, and then Tyler McCullum, and then Jeff Johnson in Coldstream, just down the road.
Three producers, producers, recorders, engineers, everything.
Producers.
Producers, okay.
Yeah. And like producers, engineers, like they kind of like, well, actually Tyler didn't engineer it. Yeah, Cody Angel engineered it, Tyler produced it, and then John produced and engineered it, and then same with like Jeff, and then the mix and mastering went off to someone else.
All these words
Billy
don't really
Decker in
mean
Nashville.
anything to someone who doesn't know the music industry, but
Yeah.
it's kind of bonkers how many steps there are. Like, there's a lot of things and a lot of people involved to releasing any song.
Even for you, when you were like producer engineered, like I kind of forgot there for a moment, because I've been like working with Jeff, who does producing and engineering. I kind of forgot that there was like, they were two different things. And like, Tyler in Texas, he did the producing and then Cody did the engineering. And then before that, John also did the producing and engineering. And then when like we were in school, there was producing and engineering. You just kind of I don't know, I kind of forgot there almost for a minute when you said that. I was like, oh yeah, right. Like
Yeah,
they're
they
different.
blend together.
They do blend together. You need to have someone there, you need to work well together, two people that work very well together because, yeah.
I feel like the producer is the one closer to the artist. Like
Absolutely.
The engineer, the mixer, like they can just be
Yep.
pushing buttons.
Yeah.
And sometimes the person that's close to the artist and like is listening to what take was better than another, which one is closer to like the essence of that artist. That can be the person also pushing buttons, but then it just splits their focus between two different things. And some people can do that really, really well, and
Yeah.
some people are unable to divert as much attention and energy as they should to both when they're doing both.
Yeah.
And sometimes those people are just better off doing one thing, and then they do that one thing and they become amazing at it. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but
Well, no,
there's a lot of things involved in it.
Absolutely. And I'm like the producer I'm working with now, like he's great at doing both.
Okay, what do you think about writing for other people to perform?
Writing music for other people.
Yeah,
Like I think that that's great. Like
because you've written all your own stuff, right?
yeah, I've written all my own stuff so far, and then the song that I'm coming out with this summer, I wrote with Jeff Johnson. That was my first co-write, who also like produced I Don't Want to Fall in Love Anymore and that song. And then just a couple days ago, I did a co-write with Patricia Conroy, Dwave, Jeff Johnson, and then myself, and that was like my first like group co-write, and like that was my first like I don't know, like it still blows my mind to me, like I'm still so new into doing this, but the song, like the way we all worked together was like really cool, and it was so it was fascinating. It was just like magic happened. They were all so good and so talented, and like just came out with this like banger tune, and I just feel like so honored that I got to do that.
How does a group write work?
Well, so yeah, this is really cool. So how it kind of happened is like I went over to Jess because he lives like close by, and then I believe they were in Nashville. I believe that's where they were. And then we hopped on the call and we kind of like each threw around our ideas. But Patricia had this really cool idea, and she had like the chorus already, like kind of like the melody and like like the hook of the song. She kind of already had it there. She sang it to us, and we were like, I was like, let's go with that. Like it just sounded so cool. So we ran with that, and then from there we were like, okay, like Patricia already has like the song kind of going, like the chorus. Let's get this chorus down. And from there we got the chorus down. We all just shooting ideas at each other, and then after we had the chorus down, we're like, okay, let's go to the verse. We wrote like the first verse, and then we were like, this sounds better in a second verse, so we put that to the second verse. Then we wrote the first verse, then we did the bridge, and it was just like everyone shooting out ideas. Like it was really cool. It was like throughout the song we were like, okay, what's the melody again? Like it was just like it was such a cool thing. You kind of like lose, like it's just like everyone working together as a team, everyone shooting out ideas, and by the end of it you have like the song, and like the song turned out so freaking cool.
How long was this call for?
We started at 10 o'clock, and we probably finished around 12:30, and that was the write. And then Jeff was like, do you want to go demo this right now, like in the studio? And I was like, sure. So I went into the studio, and he like laid down some tracks and made a demo out of it, and it sounded awesome, and we're all like super stoked about how it sounds, and I'm totally going to show you guys after.
Sweet. I'm excited to hear that.
It's so good. Like, yeah, they're all just so talented. It's just like, holy shit, cool.
So there's you and 3 others, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Okay, so so you demoed it right afterwards. Are they potentially each also demoing it like immediately after that call?
See, like, I don't really know how it works. Like, I think like no, I don't know. Like, no, like I demoed it for them like to hear, so we could all like listen to it to what it sounded like, right?
Were they all are all the other artists in this group all singers?
I know Patricia used to be a singer, but I think she's just songwriting right now. Same with Dwayne, and like Jeff's the producer songwriter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
like
with all of this, like there's ideas flowing, and
Mm-hmm.
someone needs to actually like perform it to
Mm-hmm.
hear what this idea sounds like.
yeah, like so that's like with a demo, it's just like something so we can all like see like what it sounds like and like where we were going with it. Like and it was just like so cool and so crazy and it's a good song. Yeah.
I want to hear it.
I can't wait to show you. I can't wait. Like it's fire.
Like you can't play it now, can you? Like it's
No.
got to be like, oh, okay.
I know,
All
I
right.
wish I could, but
Okay. That's
I know I
fine, that's
wish
fair.
I could. I wish I could. But I'll show you after.
It's so cool, like to have so many things, or like even just like a few like really awesome things happen that like you're really excited about.
Yeah, it's been really cool. I've been meeting a lot of really cool people in the industry and just like grinding my ass to like meet as many people as possible. Especially in radio. Radio has been doing so much for me right now.
Do you mean like radios and like you have to
Country
tune into
radio.
a station, or like radio like you can go into iTunes radio or
No, like
internet
country radio, like Canadian country radio. So, like you, because I'm sure, I guess you probably don't know how that all works or anything.
Not
Yeah.
really.
Okay, so like when, like I have my song and then I want to put it out to radio, so I hire a radio tracker and put it out through BDBS, and then you kind of just like hope for the best. And like with radio, when you're first starting out, it's really hard to build those connections, and even like when you don't really understand that building connections is a big deal, it's a huge thing. So I won Stingray's trending track this I guess was it March that I won it? Yeah, March that I won it.
I mean, you couldn't tell me about it neither February or March.
Yeah,
until
I
like they
wasn't supposed
announced
to
it
say
first.
anything. And it's such a big
You're like, I got this
deal.
thing I want to tell you about, but I can't tell you about.
I know. And so that's what it was. And such a big deal for an emerging artist because it gets your name out there. Like, no one knew who I was before. And now that my song is playing all over the country on all these Stingray stations plus other stations in country radio, like now it's like, okay, like people like are starting to like see my name. And that goes a long way. And then I just started doing not just started, I've been doing it for over a month now, but like a virtual radio tour. And I'm meeting everyone in radio. And it's just been the best experience. I'm like, I just think like, what would I be doing if I wasn't doing this right now? I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I'm meeting all these cool, awesome people. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't even want to think if I wasn't doing this right now, like how like
Like, what actually would you do?
I don't know. I don't even like thinking about it. Like I don't know.
I think he'd be acting personally.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That was
Yeah.
the other thing that
I
you were
loved
really
it.
into.
I was so into that for a while. I'm still into it. I still love acting. I just came to a point where I'm like, I need to invest 100%, 110% of my energy. Did you just inside yawn?
I did. I've been up for a long time.
I do
I'm
that
sorry.
all the
I
time.
tried to hide it.
Where
it
you
didn't work.
yawn and you like
I'm like,
close your mouth
"Nope."
and your lip lifts a little bit, and I do that all the time. I'm like, did they notice? Did they notice?
I totally was called out right there.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to call you out, but I just
No,
think
it's
it's funny
okay.
because I do that all the time.
Do you mind if I fix this?
Yeah, can you fix mine as
Yeah,
well?
I'd love to fix yours as well. I think we should fix Evan's too.
Yay.
Evan, we need to fix your glass. Your glass has got to fall.
Hesta's Creek.
I'm going to stop.
Merci beaucoup. That's good, thank you. That's good,
Okay.
thanks. Yep, that's great.
Let's get to it. Okay.
Go.
The little baby
That's
cup.
yes, my little sippy cup.
Yeah. So cute.
Chester Creek with somebody
Hester.
drowning in the lake. Sorry, Hester Creek. Fuck. Hester Creek.
Right there.
Okay.
It's right there, man. Come on.
Well, I was holding it like
I
this.
know, and you're like, oh, Chester, duh. That's
Well,
what
I
it would
keep
be.
on saying Chester because that's what I'm thinking about, and then I
Right.
said it so often that's now what I'm thinking about whenever I'm reading Hester. I just mentally adding a C.
No, I
Anyways,
would totally do that too. I get it.
on a slight tangent, Have either of you ever heard of a comedian who's who's named Bill Burr? Mm-mm. You know? Okay. What have you heard his Monday morning podcast? He is a special human being. So he's one of those people, I don't know very many of them, who can like talk for about 2 hours. Just talking, just ranting, and it's entertaining. He doesn't need anyone to play off of. He's just funny. He doesn't have any of it planned out. It's not like a rehearsed show. Like, here's my comedic bit for 2 hours. It's like, no, just put a microphone in front of him, give him something, anything, have somebody trip and fall on the ground, get up and walk away. And he will go for like 3 hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever. He just has that refined skill of ranting. But anyways, oh my God, I totally forgot what I was going to say about him. Chester.
Thank you.
Chester. Oh, it's still oh no. No.
Someone take that drink away from him.
I haven't touched it yet. But anyways, oh, I'm so sad I can't remember what it was now.
We're sad too.
Yeah. Shit. You know what?
Yeah.
I'll come back to that.
You'll come back to it.
I'll come back to that.
Probably tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's all good.
We were talking about performing, we were talking about Chester's Creek, we were talking about releasing singles, we were talking about what were we
Are you trying to think what we were talking about? I don't
I
remember.
really derailed this conversation, didn't I?
I don't know. I don't remember.
That's what it was. It was the yawn that derailed us.
Yes. That was my fault.
No, I yawned.
I'm sorry.
I yawned. I gave
That's
the
okay. It's
excuse
natural to yawn. I do
mock
too.
your friend
I just think
about-
it's really funny that you also do that because I'm like yawning. I'm like, I wonder if anyone noticed that.
I've seen like a recording of myself doing that yawn, and like my throat makes like this weird like shape change thing. So like I can't fake it.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. It's like this guy's bored. Not to say that I was bored.
Yeah, is that
I've
what
just
you
been
were
up
saying?
a while.
No. Yeah, no, I know you wake up really early and I'm boring. It's fine. Faders down. Cut.
There we go.
Oh my gosh, that was good.
That's the only one button that I remember what it does. Like the others do stuff too, but I can't remember. What is this one? No, thank you.
Ooh,
There we go.
I like that one.
Just crickets and squeaky bicycle chains. You can't hear it because you gave me your headphones because I forgot my headphones elsewhere. I'm sad about that.
Oh, you couldn't hear the good stuff.
Yeah,
That's
it's he's just looking around at his lights, critiquing himself and overthinking it, and it's beautiful in here.
Is-
Hester Creek.
Is this on your live on your Facebook?
YouTube, actually.
YouTube.
I do YouTube because you don't need to sign in.
What do you mean?
You don't need to be signed into YouTube to watch it. Facebook, you can't see anything on Facebook unless you're signed in. Like if you're not logged in, you can't see anything.
How are you seeing it on YouTube if you're not logged in?
You don't need to log in.
What does that mean? I don't understand.
Like you can open up a browser on like a cafe computer, go to youtube.com, find this podcast and listen to it.
Oh,
You don't need to sign
You don't
in.
need to like put in your
You
personal.
don't need an account.
Okay,
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So it's completely public, it's completely free. Yeah, I
love it.
I like that. I don't like the barrier.
Fair enough. I respect that. You're like, sure. Thanks.
You mock me. You
No,
make fun
I
of my
think-
yawning. You.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Am I
bugging
being
you about
rude?
that.
No, I'm kidding.
No, you're not being rude. I'm being ridiculous. Okay, so I realized that I've missed out on most of the nice days because like I would turn around and look behind me at the window and realize like, oh, the sun's almost gone. It's like 6 p.m. It's 7 p.m. I need to go outside like now if I'm going to go see sunlight, so I keep on missing it. But good weather is coming in.
Is it
Are
good?
are you excited? Or do you like summertime, or what's your favorite season? What do you like to? What time of year makes you happy?
I love the beginning of every season. Like it's hard for me to pick a favorite season because like when the new season starts, I'm so excited for that season. You know?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
No. I knew you were gonna say that. It's like I'm just closing my mouth. She's gonna think I'm yawning right now.
I'm sorry.
Totally did.
Okay. Anyways,
You're just watching me now.
I'm just out to get you. But no, the beginning of every season excites me. Like when I think like summer, like I'm so excited for summer. Like spring was so excited. Like I get so excited when fall happens, and I get so excited when winter happens. And then it lasts like, pretty soon the summer gets too freaking hot, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for fall. Then fall gets like too like ugly, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for snow. And then snow gets too like cold and wet, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for spring. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just like an ongoing cycle. I really enjoy every season for the fact that they're all so beautiful in their own ways. But I mean, who doesn't love summer? But like, yes, sometimes it can get like really, really, really hot. But
I
it's
like the
fine.
warm water and the warm
Yeah,
nights.
like it's fine. It's like
Hot days, yeah,
Yeah.
fine, whatever. But like warm nights, warm
Yeah,
water, I like that.
totally. Like it's so nice. And like winter has its beautiful beautiful things about it as well, like cozying up, like hot chocolate, like the fireplace, like Christmas, like everything has its beauty. Like springtime, like the flowers that are blooming, everything's turning green. Fall, like
It's
the beautiful
really
colors
green
of the
everywhere.
leaves. I know.
I can't believe how green it is. Like I keep on forgetting because everything looks like a tinderbox out here usually. It's all yellow and brown and ready to catch flames. It's tinderbox. It's a
Tinderbox.
You're thinking Tinder. I'm
I
thinking
am thinking Tinder.
it's not-
That's why I'm
no.
laughing. I'm like,
there's a box full of
I'm like, what
horny
is
people
Tinder
looking for
box?
each other to go waste time with. No. Okay, so here's an idea. Because we were just talking about having you like maybe play a song. I don't think we should do that this time. I think that we should do that next time. I think
Yes.
the next time we should be either in the backyard or we should be on a beach.
ooh.
We should just bring this crap out to a beach
Have
somewhere.
a campfire party
Yes.
for everyone. You can even play
Anyone,
some songs.
if you're
You
walking
can play
by,
home.
I was actually thinking about that. I almost practiced it to learn it so that we could play this, but this week got really crazy.
Well, we don't have to do it this week, but we should do that.
We
That
should.
would be really cool.
Okay, that song is really old now, and
People still love it.
people who are now hitting
Home,
drinking age
Edward
have
Sharpe,
never heard it,
and the Magnetic Zeros.
which makes me
Is that
feel
right?
really old. Yes,
Right.
Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. That's the one.
Is that right, or am I putting
No,
two
you're
artists
totally right.
together? Okay,
No,
I'm like,
it sounds like two artists.
does am I like, okay, good.
Like when you have to take a breath to say the artist's name, it's probably too long. Well, that's
Yeah.
like borderline.
Such a good song. Oh,
Yeah.
what a banger.
They didn't
Can
really
we-
have that many other hit songs, did they?
I don't know. I just know Home, so probably not.
I know "Man on Fire" as well. Those are the only two songs of theirs that I can name.
I'm really bad with that though. Like I'll hear like a couple hits from an artist and I love those ones and then I won't like, you know what I mean? It's, for the artists that I know a lot of their songs too, like I must really, really love them because I'm very much listen to that song, kind of move on, love that song, might hear another one, move on. Other artists, like I have all these different favorite songs from artists, but for the artists where it's like I know a lot of their songs, like they got good songs, I'm like, those are the artists that I like love.
You showed me "Milky Chance," and at the time it was "Stolen Dance."
Yep.
That didn't mean to rhyme, but it did. And lately, there's two other songs: "Flash Junk Mind" and "Cocoon" as well by
Yep.
him. Those are really good songs.
Yeah, like,
there's
he's
there's not
great.
that like I love throwing on just like "Milky Chance" on shuffle. It's great.
Yeah,
But
those are
there's
the
not that
three.
many songs I can like think of the names of offhand.
Totally,
But those ones
totally.
I can.
See, like, and that's like a perfect example. Yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely go do like an outdoor beach, like live recording.
I would
stream,
love that.
whatever.
Just have like a little campfire and
Like
play
soon it
some
won't be so cold that we
songs.
need to be in the garage with like the haze machine and me just annoying you
That
with
was
whatever I was
fun.
doing.
Oh, I've had so much fun. Like
That was really
people,
fun.
people have been loving those live streams. Like
They were cool.
they were like, I had so many of like my followers ask me like, well, when are you doing a live stream again? When are you doing like? Everyone was so hyped about it. Like it was so cool. It was so fun.
Well, you're so interactive on those.
Try.
You're really Okay, so I do a lot of live streams,
Mm-hmm.
and there's probably one or two people that have really stood out as being good interactors with like the online presence. Because it's not easy to do that. Like
Yeah.
you know that it's difficult. You're
Yeah.
good at it, but it's not easy.
Yeah, I want to make sure I get every person's comment. I want to answer every question. Like that's kind of why you're on there, to like talk to people, right? And I love that. Like, and when I watch live streams, like I want people to interact with me. Like that's the whole point of it, right? And like I can, like it's like I have like enough people on there where I can still interact and still talk and catch everyone. So I try and do it as best as I can.
But you did it across Facebook and Instagram,
I
two different
did.
devices.
I did.
At the same time, like you were replying to two totally separate threads of
And
comments.
I
It
loved
was pretty great.
I loved it. It was so fun, and it was just so like free spirited, and I just felt like I could be myself, and everyone was really nice and kind and fun, and I loved it. I really loved it. That was really it's like being on stage but different, and it's everyone there that like wants to see you, which is like really cool.
Like imagine playing in a venue where everyone's just handing you post-it notes instead of yelling and screaming.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
read what I have to say.
Yeah, it was cool. I love it. Everyone on there is so nice, and it's fun. And especially like your setting that you have in the garage there, like the lights and the fog machine. And
I think it looks better in here right now, personally.
totally.
But,
I mean, I
but,
have
like,
to
it's-
agree.
it-
But
it does.
compared to just like doing it out of your home with nothing, which is what I'm used to doing, that's like it was like pretty cool.
I was talking so this week, this is podcast number 3 with a musician this week. Mm-hmm. So it was Matthew Presidente in Vancouver, Graham Ord here in town, and now you.
Oh wow.
Matthew Presidente, he's actually now has like his own like show on our platform called More Keys. So he's a musician based in Vancouver, and he's like you, he's really good with like the online interaction and not having like disrupt his flow. Like when you're in the groove and you're playing stuff, like he can respond, he can chat, he can talk with people and still play. He plays piano, and he's getting that whole like online interaction thing down. He's good at it, but like it does take a lot of effort and a lot of time. And I was asking what's different about this? Like how is this like? It's different when you can't see the people and you can only interact over chat. And like, how do you meet other artists? How do you interact with them? Because like half the conversations that you have before and after shows, like that's a lot of the allure to why you go and do them. But if you take all that away, like what's left?
Yeah.
Like in these live streams that you've been doing, what do you look forward to?
Gosh, honestly, just seeing people come on and that are interested makes me happy enough. Like when I see people come on, people say hi, people show me that they're there, show me that they care, that they like the song, ask me questions. The interaction at all makes me very happy. And I vibe off that. And when I see that, it makes me vibe harder. And it makes me want to talk. It makes me want to interact. It makes me want to like just stay on there and like keep going. And I guess that's the power of like fans and people is like they're there for you. They love you and they love your music. They love your song. And like to know that you have that is just like I don't know, you're just so grateful. And it makes you want to just like stay on there and interact and not get off. And you just get so pumped up, like for like the things that you create and the things that you do, like these people like it. And it's like so exciting. And yeah, so that's why I love it. That's why I love doing live streams, just to see the people come on and people want to hear you sing. People want to ask you questions. People want to talk to you. And it's just like, it's just literally breaks my heart. It makes me so happy. It's like, wow, okay, like I'm doing the right thing. I'm in the right field. People care. So
It's getting easier and easier to listen to performances online too, because like all the devices are better. Like there's more and more people who don't really have a computer. They just have like an iPad, an iPhone, or like a Samsung or whatever Android unfortunate thing they're dealing with. But those devices are getting better and better. So like it's actually not bad to listen to a performance on your little device that fits in your pocket.
yeah.
They sound better, they look better, everything's better.
Yeah, this is true.
So that definitely makes it a lot easier. Like I can't imagine if this pandemic happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know how this would have gone.
We would have been screwed.
We really would have been screwed.
Yeah.
But also 10 years in the future, think of like how crazy everything would be. And then if we imagined that if it happened 10 years ago, which would have been now, we'd been, oh man, we would have been fucked.
Yeah.
But, we just kind of figured it out. But
Yeah,
anyways,
exactly. You figure it out.
we should definitely do another, I think the next live stream that we do, because I really enjoy doing those with you. Those are fun.
Those are so fun. I'm happy you like them.
I have fun because I just kind of hide in the shadows, kind of like Evan is right now. And I make the whole thing look cool. which
Yeah,
is
it
what
was
Evan did. He made
fun.
this whole place look really cool. Like if my camera's on right now, then you can see like there's blue back here, there's like pink, and I'm lit. Oh, now it's
See,
off.
that's just nothing. Boring.
Yeah, see, this is what my house almost looks like. Not at all, really.
It's still beautiful, but
It's usually there we go. just messing with me. But it's fun doing that stuff. It's fun making other people look really good and sound really good, especially when they have like a good thing to share, like a song, a message, whatever it is. And I think we should do one of these like out on the beach.
I would love that.
That'd be cool.
That would be
Because
that
we
would be
actually have
vibe.
beaches here. We're not
We
even
actually
around
have
the coast.
beaches, and we're pretty lucky here.
We are.
We're pretty lucky. Yeah, we are.
I don't know how we're
so
gonna light it. We have
lucky.
to figure that one out.
I will help you guys.
Yeah, he's over there already thinking about it. Like,
Can you get one of these sky panels to look like a firelight?
For sure.
he's
You
like,
know?
Do you want to do it right now? No, I kind of like the pink vibe going right
yeah,
now.
the pink vibe was cool. So when you called me and you asked me what my favorite color was it already pink?
It was
time?
already
Was
exactly
it?
this pink. So when you said like I like pink, I'm like sweet.
Sick. That's awesome.
No, it's fun getting to play with stuff like this, and it's also fun having more and more excuses to do this, and it's not like a year, 2 years ago. I can't stop. I can't say a year ago anymore.
I know.
That's weird. 2 years ago,
That's fine.
we never would have thought about playing with this kind of stuff the way that we are. Like, oh, save it for the show. Go do it with like 100 people, 200 people, 500 people, 1,000 people, 10,000
Yeah,
people
now
watching.
you're itching to do stuff like this.
Yeah, it's like
This
5
is-
people can come and watch. Cool. Sign me up. Let's go do it. Those 5 people
I
are going to be
know.
stoked. It's going to
Yeah.
be great. They haven't been outside their house for 2 months or whatever it is.
I know, it's crazy.
Anyways, what gets you excited in the morning? Music related.
Music related in the morning.
Do you play your own music to yourself very often?
I do. My favorite to listen to my music is when I'm in the car. I love just going for drives and listening to my music. And that depends, like when I've like first written a song or I've demoed a song or something, I like to go and just drive and listen to it. Like I was saying, I just wrote this song with all these talented people the other day. I've been listening to nothing but that. I've been like purposely going on drives just to listen to it. Like people will be like, "Oh, like want to carpool?" No, like I don't, because I wanted to be alone and listen to the song. Like you just get, it's so, I love driving around listening to music. So yeah, like I don't know, morning. I guess it just depends what song it is and what's going on in my timing. But
What happens in your head when you're listening to a song that you're like it's not landed as to what it is yet? So for example, if I listen to a brand new song from some artist that, like, I'll pick Bon Iver for some example. If I listen to a brand new Bon Iver song that I've never heard before, I'm probably going to play it several times and just let my senses respond the way that they will. Mm-hmm. Some songs kind of make you feel like you have like goosebumps, like pins and needles, like, oh my God, that song was epic. And some other songs, they just make you feel really optimistic about everything. Like some Imagine Dragons songs, you listen to them and you can't really be sad afterwards. It kind of,
Yeah.
it makes your body respond in a certain way. So like when you're listening to songs that you've been a part of making, either in a group or on your own, and you're listening to it afterwards, like what's your reaction?
yeah, like I guess the songs, like I don't want to fall in love anymore. When I still listen to that song, I'm still just like, ooh, like I can't believe I wrote that. Like it gives me like goosebumps every time. Like I'm just like, wow, this is so cool that I wrote this. I still just for like, it's weird to me that I wrote that, because like that's a song I listen to. That's a song that I think that everyone can relate to. And I just think the production was so well done, and it's just a song that I really genuinely love. And so yeah, I don't know, with this song that I wrote the other day too, I'm just like, wow, this is like so cool. But yeah, okay, what was the question, sorry?
Well, it's like, how do you feel when you're listening to songs? Like, like when you're listening to yourself, that's different than if you're listening to someone else. Because if you're listening to yourself, the way that you sound on a record is not the way that you sound sitting across from someone talking to them.
Yeah.
Like you actually sound closer right now because I'm listening through headphones and a microphone than you like to your record than if we were just sitting and talking without these things on, which are making my ears kind of warm. But anyways, it makes me listen in a different way. But if you're
Yeah.
hearing yourself, you sound different in a recording than you do in your own head, like when you talk. So, like, do you separate yourself? Like, this is like Teigen Gayse, and I'm me, and I'm listening. And yes, it's the same person, but I'm listening to this as if I'm someone else. And do you have like a sensory response?
It's a good question. That's a really good question because if I really, really, really love the track and I feel like I've done a really, really good job, I think the only thing that sets me apart from that is me being nitpicky about how I sound. You know, like I don't want to fall in love anymore. I can listen to that song and I don't think I don't think it's me singing because I'm like to me it's like that was done like perfectly. It was done so well. And the way I sang it, like I enjoy it. Compared to like some other songs that I've like sung where I'm like, I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have done this. Like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm nitpicky. And so like, I'm always constantly thinking about that or it's bothering me or bugging me. Where with this song, I'm like, it's done to my perfection standards. You know, like it was just, I love everything about it. And so like when I listen to it, I'm not sitting there like picking it apart. I'm just happy with it. So I don't think that it's me. I just listen and I'm happy and I'm okay. But there are some songs where I've done and I'm just like, I just get kind of like, oh, I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have pronounced this way, or I wish this would have been done this way, or, you know, like I'm sitting there feeling that and thinking that.
Do you remember the first song of yours that you recorded and you listened to afterwards and you thought, no, I don't want to change anything? Which was the first one of those?
Like, usually I'm pretty like with the production, the way that it was done has been different with everyone. Like when I worked with John, I got to go through the vocal takes with him. We'd go through and we'd comp all the vocal takes, and so I got to be there for everything. That was my first 3 songs that I did released ever, and
Was that in Calgary?
yeah, that was in Calgary. I don't know if that was a good idea or if I don't know if that was a bad idea because I can be very, very nitpicky. So I was in there listening to every single thing, being like, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And you just get so obsessed, right? And then with Tyler in Texas, I did the same thing, but they were just like, this is awesome, this is great, just made you feel so good. You were just like, okay, like, you know what I mean? And then with Jeff, he did all that. You know, he had the ear, he did it, and then if there was like something that say I really didn't like, then I'd tell him when he sent it over to me, but like I let him handle that on his own. I let him pick the best of everything and then just like whatever I heard. But I don't know, that's a tough one.
But it sounds like this last one you felt like that. So maybe the first one was this last one.
What do you mean?
The first song that you listened to, that was you, and you thought, no, I don't want to change this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. Like this, just the way I sounded, I don't know. There was just like something about this song and this recording and the way that it was done that was just so different from all the others. Like I can't quite pinpoint it, but it just was different.
Is that almost, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, is that almost alien or foreign? Like to think that I'm listening to a song that, or like if I were you, if I'm listening to a song that I made and I don't want to change anything, but every single other song that I made, I did want to change stuff. There was this, there was that, there's like little nitpicking things. Like, is that almost
Weird.
disarming or weird? Yeah, like to hear yourself and think I wouldn't change any of this.
Totally.
It's like, oh, whoa, this is possible.
Yeah,
I
you're
can
like-
get to that state where I'm not critiquing myself anymore.
Totally. It's like, well, like, what was it? Like, did my voice grow up? Did like, what could it be? There could be so many things, or is it just like,
I mean, clearly you've gotten better because every single time you've done a new song, you have improved. You've taken all the previous lessons and applied them to the new one.
Mm-hmm.
You've not plateaued. You're continuously getting better and better with songwriting, performance, everything. So you are getting better and better. And I wonder if there's like a threshold that like once you pass it, you begin to make things that you like.
yeah. And I do have to say, like, the song went well with my voice. Like, it was a good song, like, for my voice. And I mean, Jeff, like, he did a good job at guiding me to get that sound. You know? I've never had that before. Not saying anything bad about any of the previous producers. They were all unreal, amazing, very talented people. But, like, you know, like, Jeff wasn't scared to be like, that sucked, or that was bad, or you can do better, come on, like, and I appreciated that, you know, like, he would sit there and he would give me voice lessons in the middle of my singing track, be like, he'd come in there and he'd be like, Kay, like, you need to jump around, or like, Kay, like, you need to sing from your gut, like, you know, like, Kay, you're being nasally, or like, Kay, chew a piece of gum, like, he was on it. You know, like, he was on it.
There's just some pretty off the wall things to say, like, do these things and you will get better.
Totally. I was just like, okay, cool. And they worked. And like, I appreciated that about him.
Can you imagine doing that to one of your fans? Or not one of your fans, to someone that you are a fan of? Uh-huh. Like, imagine like a country singer that like you really love their music and you sit in the studio and you watch them, listen to them perform a take that you knew, like, this isn't going to make it. And you got to be the one to stand up, walk over to them and say, that's not going to make the cut. You need to do that again. That'd be kind of crazy and kind of fun. And like, you'd probably have like your heart like beating at your chest. Like, I'm about to tell someone that I look up to that that wasn't good enough. You got to do better. You are not a one take wonder every time.
It just makes me feel like, okay, like, he wants this to do well just as much as I want this to do well. You know, like, if this does well, it looks good on him. It also looks good on me. It's like, we want this to do well. And yeah, it was just something that I really appreciated. And yeah.
Before all the lockdowns happened, you were playing some shows, right? Like a few live shows here and there?
Yep, I played some live shows last summer.
Did you ever listen to did you ever record them and listen to them afterwards and critique yourself?
No, I've never had someone come in there and record. The only time I've had anyone record it was when I was at the Corral and you came and recorded it that one time.
Oh man, I feel so bad about that.
And I don't even think I got to hear
great
it.
Recording. Really?
Yeah, remember it like didn't work out or something?
Well, it was just so noisy in there.
Well, yeah, and I never did get to hear it. Yeah.
Oh shit, I gotta look back and see if I have that or not. But anyways, it doesn't really matter anymore because you're way better anymore. No, you're way better now. But yeah, I know like in some industries, especially like stand-up comedians, they always record themselves. They'll get like a little memo recorder, and just like put it on a table or something. And they want to hear where did people laugh, where was there pauses, too much or too little. How did they do this bit, that bit, whatever? And they're trying to work it out. But it's different because as a comedian, that's the only place you ever do that. But as a musician, you're doing recordings in a studio, and you're working on yourself there. But do you ever go back and listen to your live streams?
No, because I'm nitpicky.
And you're afraid you're gonna like tear it to
myself
death?
Apart. Like, honestly, like, even when I do an interview, like an on-air interview, if I leave that interview thinking like, oh my God, I said too much, or oh my God, I was rambling, oh my God, like, blah, 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 I get nervous to watch it because I'm like, oh, like, you know what I mean? And I know that that's not good. You should go and you should listen and you should learn. And sometimes I'm okay with that. Sometimes I do that, but sometimes I don't, because it brings me down. Like, I'll listen to it and I'm like, oh, why did I say that? You know what I mean? Like, because I do, like, I'm a very rambly person. I'm an open book. I like to talk sometimes. A
lot of that's on the interviewer, though.
Yeah.
Like, some interviewers, I've definitely learned that there's, like, some people, some ways, sometimes, where I'm able to, like, help the guest do whatever I want them to do. If I want them to keep on talking, I can position myself and pose certain questions in a way so that they keep on talking.
Yeah.
In other cases, actually, it's funny, my friend Jordan, he told me after I brought him and Noah on, I think it was episode 2 or 3, something like that. It was the first time I had two other people on at the same time, and afterwards, bless you.
Sorry.
Anyways, no, it's fine. I've smacked it like 4 or 5 times. Do you want? Please kill this, by the way.
Should I?
You should. I will help you kill it.
Okay.
He told me after we were done, like
Split that with yourself.
just like yours is still pretty full.
Oh,
There we go. Let's split. Split right down the middle.
right down the middle.
Towards one side.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Jordan told me afterwards, like, man, you need to make that podcast more of your own. Like, we did most of the talking. Like, but that's the whole point. I want you guys to talk. And he's like, no. You got to stick your thumbprint on there. You got to add your essence to it as well.
Absolutely.
And it made me think, okay, fine. Maybe I'll actually interject more often. But there are some hosts that have learned how to keep the other person talking all of the time. And it feels unfair. Because afterwards you leave and you think, man, I talked the entire time. Like, they didn't say anything. I didn't learn anything about them at all. And I honestly don't talk that much to talk. Most of the time I talk so that the other person doesn't feel like they've talked the entire time and they feel more balanced. But there are ways where you can go and do an interview with like some news place like Global News. I don't know if Global does this or not. But you could have some interview with some news place, some local, international, whatever. And afterwards think, man, I said too much. I rambled too much. Whatever. And that's on their fault.
Yeah.
That's their fault. That's on their end. So, yeah, I don't think you should feel bad about that. But anyways, yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It is a thing. It definitely is a thing.
On a totally different note, with so many strange things happening all over the place and every day and with everyone, what's your version of taking a break? Because a lot of other people's version of taking a break is sitting and listening to music. But that's kind of your job.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, for me, taking a break, self-care. I really love self-care. Taking a bath, like reading. I mean,
Like a physical book? What
I
of
know,
those?
like, I only say that, like, okay, is that the camera? Okay, like, don't let me fool you. I don't read that much, but I am like reading a music book right now. Just like I think it's called like the new old business or the new music business. I don't know what it's called, but right now I'm reading that and just like learning. So I mean, still learning, but yeah, working out. Taking baths, self-care, like I love face masks, like I love watching movies. I'm a big movie buff. Like,
We started watching a couple of movies together. I still haven't seen Glass.
it's honestly not. The
Okay,
first one
we
was way
watched
better.
Split together.
Split was so good.
But that's
Glass
not the first one.
wasn't
That's the
that
middle
good.
one, isn't it?
So Split was Split is the first one that came out, but it was based off of like a chapter after or whatever you call of that first movie that was
It was
out.
like in the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Will... no.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis. That's right.
Yeah, I forget what that one was called, but it was kind of like based off of like after that. And then Split was based off of like after that. And then Glass was before the last one.
Before Split?
Oh, wait.
I thought it was after Split. I haven't seen Glass yet. I want to.
It was after. It was after Split. But,
We watched that and It.
don't even remember.
It Chapter 2.
oh,
or
yeah.
It
Can we
Chapter-
talk about that one? Because that one I was obsessed with in a
And
very
that was
creepy
really
way.
good. I told
Very
you.
creepy. I was like, my brother bought me like It socks and the It book, and like I even watched It with my like 5-year-old nieces.
Well,
I was
they
like,
say
just turn
under
around.
under supervision, right? And you were supervision.
Well, they wanted to, and I was like, they're like, no, we want to watch this with you. We want to be with you. I was like, I'm watching a scary movie, and I'm not gonna watch something else. So I'm sorry, like I'm obsessed with this. I need to watch it. And they're like, we'll stay with you. First clown scary thing that came on, they were like, ah, like ran upstairs. I was like, okay, bye. Like, so yeah, I'm a bad auntie. I've been better. I've grown up a little bit, but
That was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. Wasn't it? It was based off of the sequel to the book, wasn't it?
Well, no. So the It
Or the
movie,
prequel to the book.
The
Like the
It
book is when they're adults.
Well, okay, so the It movie is like an obscenely long movie. It's like a movie split in two or whatever they did in the olden days or whatever. It was a
With
a
the
part one and a
intermission?
part two. Yeah, it was a part one and
my
part
God.
two. And then like the new movies was like an It one and an It two. And I'm not gonna lie, when my brother bought me the book, I didn't. Okay, you want to know why I didn't? I started reading it. I was really excited about it. Like I couldn't wait. Bless the author's heart, but because I've seen the movie and I knew what happened, he went so into detail with each thing that I was just like, can you get to the fucking point already? Like I know what's gonna happen. And you're taking a really long time to get there, and it's really annoying me and bugging me. And it would just like he went into great detail. So like if you hadn't watched the movie yet and you didn't know what was going on, it would have been the best read of your life. But because I did know what was going on, and it just like he like just like went on and on and on and on and on about the smallest, tiniest thing that in the movie lasted like a second, I was just like, oh my God, you were breaking my brain. You were hurting me. I'm hurt.
Okay,
can't do this.
I read the Lord of the Rings book after watching all three movies, and it was the exact same experience. Like in a book, you can drag it out for as long as you want. You can add all the description in detail, but you forget that that description can be summarized in one image.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to go and describe verbally every single thing in an image, you
Totally.
can drag something on for a long time.
Yeah.
But just like you're saying, if you don't know what's going to happen, like just get to the point.
I was very angry and I couldn't finish it. My brother's like, you finished your book? I'm like, yeah. Yep.
I know the ending, if that counts. Oh, man. I want to go back and rewatch that again. Because there was like two scenes that like really, not scared, but like stood out as like, these are some like fucking creepy moments. Totally. The two moments that stood out to me in that movie, like spoiler, I don't care. I really don't care if I'm spoiling this or not. Turn it off if you haven't seen it. Anyways, the bit where like he's like almost biting the kid's arm off, like faking it, because of the beginning bit.
Yeah.
Where he does bite off the arm, and he's like, yeah, no, maybe. I was like, holy shit, that's really creepy for some reason.
Yeah.
That and all the kids hanging in that huge big open space like near the end.
Yeah.
Those two bits for some reason were like, this is really fucking creepy.
I know. That movie was creepy. So creepy.
Like none of the
So
jump
well
scares.
done.
There's just those two parts. Those two parts like stood out. It's like,
I know.
whoa, this is fucking weird.
I was obsessed with that movie. Like,
You just
and-
like scary movies.
Well, I do love scary movies, and it was my childhood favorite movie. And I was really into acting at that time. Like, that's when I was like really honed into like my acting career. And I remember Andy Machete like liked I commented on something and he liked it, and I was just like freaking the F out. And like, so Andy Machete directed it, and then I think his sister produced it. And like all the kids on that movie, I was like obsessed with. And there was this one interview that I forget what it was on. I want to say it was on Jimmy Fallon. And there's this one interview, and I'm forgetting what the kids' names are. But there was one interview I'm going to have to show you. And I think I probably already showed you. I probably already did, because I was just like, this kid is so funny. But remember that scene? I don't know if you remember when they were in the house, like that creepy house at the end, and the clown kind of comes out of the stove, and he's kind of like all tucked in, and he comes out and he's crawling and he's like coming.
No,
and,
I don't.
And that one kid who has like a broken arm or something, and like he's also very like, I haven't seen it in so long, but his mom's like he's a germaphobe, and his mom tells him that he needs to whatever, but he comes crawling out, and I forget his name's Jack. I know his real name is Jack in real life, and that's all I can think of. And I'm drawing a blank on what the actor's name is too. But there's like three brothers, and they're like really like well-known actors, and I hate myself right now for not remembering, but whatever. But anyways, that was their first scene together, and the kids weren't allowed to see it until their first scenes with like the clown. So like they had no idea what it looked like. Like the director made sure like they couldn't see him. And their very first scenes with this clown was the first time they've ever seen what he looked like, what Pennywise looked like. And so with Pennywise and Jack doing this first scene, Pennywise comes out and he's drooling and he's all scared. And like Jack, like the little boy, he's like drooling and like screaming and crying in the scene. And like when they called cut, like, again, like I'm forgetting his name, but Pennywise, I'll just say like, was like, oh my God, Jack, are you okay? Like he was worried. He was like crying and screaming. And he's like, are you okay? Like, did I scare you? And he was like, love what you're doing. Love what you're doing with the character. And he just like, it was so funny. I was like, oh my gosh. Like kid actors in general, and like kid actors especially, I'm like, fuck, you got to be smart. You got to know your lines, personality, like everything, like just so cool. I just like that. Just like I just love that story, and I love telling it. And I'm surprised I never told you.
No, I never heard about that before.
You'll have to watch the interview because it's so
I totally
funny.
imagine that story finishing a different way. By the way,
Oh,
like
I
imagine
believe
like
it.
that kid ran away, never
Yeah.
came back, and actually there's this one scene with some like a different actor, and because that could handle
Yeah,
it, so
they
I had to
switched
bring in
him
someone
out.
else in. And anyways, but no, that's pretty
Love
cool.
what you're doing. Love what you're doing with the character. Like it was just like wow, cool.
Okay, do you remember the kid who he was the actor for that policeman in? Remember, like we watched like another movie where it was like those. It was like during a time of like huge like racial conflict between like police and like black people. Like I think it was
Oh yes, Detroit.
Detroit. That's the one. Yeah.
Oh.
Do you remember the kid that the
Yes,
The
we
actor
are
that
the
played that-
Millers. And I remember I was like, you need to watch. Right, you're talking about the.
that kid has played
police.
a bunch of different
Yes.
kid actors.
Well, he played We Are the Millers, and this took me by shock. Like, I saw him in We Are the Millers, and he's just like this goofy, silly guy. You know what I mean? So like when I saw him in this Detroit movie, I was just like, kind of a weird, like character for you to play, but he killed it.
He
like
did really, really well.
was insane. Like by the end of that movie, like I freaking like was like I hated him.
I was
didn't
almost
even
angry.
think-
Yeah, exactly. I was angry
Yeah,
at
I
him.
didn't even think of him in We Are the Millers when he was just like that geeky, funny boy. I
I
was
just
like,
remember him from Cat in the Hat hitting the cat with a baseball bat.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like I did see him. It was so long ago though. But yeah, that was incredible. Incredible acting. He did a good job.
And I've just appreciate that kind of stuff more and more, especially now that we realize how much we actually rely on entertainment to get us through days.
Totally. Acting is hard. Acting is like it's a special, unique talent. And
It's got a lot of stuff to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of layers and levels, and
totally.
to do it well, to do it in a way where people actually remember your character that you played, and they talk about it for like a while afterwards because they related to it, because you personified it in a way that actually meant something, and they remembered it. Maybe it was the writing of it, maybe it was the way that you portrayed it, whatever it was. Like you can
Yeah.
have like a really, really good actor in a bad role and it's not memorable.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows of a famous actor who they love who's done a movie that they really couldn't care about any
Yeah.
less than they already do. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a lot of like, it's a bit of both.
Oh yeah.
But
I
anyways,
loved it. I miss it. I like hope that like one day down the road I can do it.
I would love it if you followed suit with a lot of other musicians who have made it in one area and then went on to
I
the
hope
other area
so.
as well. One of my favorite like backwards stories is Hugh Laurie. He plays Dr. House in the TV show House.
Okay.
He also is in a bunch of like British TV shows and British movies as well. But his dream was, as far as I know anyways, his dream was to be a professional pianist and singer.
Uh-huh.
And he became an actor first. And then
Wow.
with that fame, it was a lot easier for him to become that musician that
Totally.
he wanted to be.
Yeah.
But then there's other musicians who start out as musicians and they end up acting. And then it's like, well, I don't really know what they're more known for.
Yeah.
So I'd be pretty stoked if like I'm watching a movie and Teigen Gayse is in the cast.
I
and
would- that would
and
be
you're kind of
pretty
like
cool.
riding on like the musical coattails. Like, well, people know who I am now. It's like bring me
Yeah.
on. It's like it's almost like a more clout. And it's
Yeah.
like this is kind of like a complimentary.
Well, I was done
couple of
music. Do
industries.
you remember that? I was like, I'm done music. I'm acting.
Yeah, but you weren't.
No, I know I wasn't. But I was just like, I remember my mom being like, you need to choose. Like, you need to put 110% into whatever you're doing. I was like, acting. I love acting. It's because that's what I was doing at the time. Like, I was at the art. What's this? The art studio across from the hockey arena. I forget what it's
Oh,
called.
Actor Studio?
Yes. Wait, is it the actor studio?
So
No.
like that purple building, purple front to the building, like downtown?
I don't know. I feel
Here,
bad.
you mean?
Yeah, I was in Kelowna.
I
Like,
thought that was Actor Studio.
maybe
It was
it is.
like across from the library.
Yeah. No, not the actor studio. No, that's not what it was.
Oh.
Remember when we went to the Rock of Ages?
RCA?
What's that?
The Rotary Center for
Yes,
the Arts?
Rotary for Center of the Arts.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was taking acting there with like Bonnie Gratz. And I was just like really into it and I loved it and it was so much fun. And so I was like all into that at the time. And like I wasn't really doing much with music at the time. Like my music was kind of at like a, a low. And so like I was really into acting
You
and
just
I loved
hadn't written
it.
I Don't Want to Fall in Love anymore yet.
I just hadn't written that one yet. I don't think, did I write that? Maybe. I don't know. But even though like there was nothing like, there was no excitement going on at the time. And I was just really into acting and I loved it. And like, I still do love it. I still think it's so much fun, but I'm like writing music has been my my first love no matter what. And I was like, I need to follow through with it and just kill it and go for it. And if I want to do acting down the road, then cool.
You can
I
do
love
whatever
it.
you damn well please.
Exactly.
By the way, I'm just giggling because Evan's still playing with lights.
I ran out of battery.
Oh, it died?
Just the one. I mean, the other one's probably.
Coming close.
What a sad, poor little thing. Oh, it's hot. Whoa, feel that. What did you do to this poor little thing?
What is that? Sorry.
did it ever do to
Is
you?
it a light? A light?
It's a little.
A little light with a little
A
magnet.
little light.
Poor little thing that sacrificed itself for the cause. Yeah. We're like an hour and 25 in, by the way.
Wow. Doesn't feel like that.
No, it really doesn't. You want to call it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's totally up to you.
Yeah.
Like
let's call it. Let's kill it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Next time, let's actually like add in some music to it as well. But yeah, let's kill it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go upstairs and kill this chick.
Okay.
You're still alive for like 10 more seconds.
Wow. Okay.
I already
Well-
fitted to black. I mean,
Huh?
fitted to